Hello, everyone, and welcome to Animal Advocates Radio, Voices Caring for Animals, number 482 shows and counting this evening. I want us to go over a couple things before I do get started. My name is Debbie Dahmer, a.k.a. Mama Bear, and Mama Bear is on the air because she really does care. And I want to welcome all you new listeners in this evening. And if you're listening from the web, hope you can join us on the Podbean podcast app sometime. And you could always listen to these shows, 24/7 after they get downloaded on Podbean host website. And that's an awesome website, everyone. And it's voicescaringforanimals.podbean.com. And you can subscribe and follow free, start up a free account, and then you're in on the web. And you can always check out these shows because it's coming live stream, okay? So it's awesome. Been on here since February the 20th. For those who didn't know, Blog Talk Radio closed down January the 31st, okay? So, and I didn't want to get rid of it. And, I wanted to keep going on Voices Caring for Animals and continue on. There's 482 shows this evening, and this is just wonderful. 1 second, okay? I'll be right with you. And anyway, hello, everyone, and welcome to the chat room, okay? And hope everyone enjoys it because it is awesome in here. Darla's joining us. Thank you, Darla. And also Mama Cat, a.k.a. Ray Bittner. She's with us, a former guest. So this is wonderful. And like I said, I want to go over a couple things before the show does get started. If you're in the live chat room and, if you want to speak on air, there is on the right-hand corner bottom is a phone icon. And just press that, and then that will alert me that you want to come on air, okay? And all these shows are recorded live, and then they're going to be archived, okay? So after the show, I will be editing it and then publishing it, okay? So anybody can come back and listen. So if you want to, all the ones out there, listeners, thank you for tuning in. And if you want to join us here on the Podbean podcast app, you're more than welcome. But there's just a couple steps you got to take. Create an account, and it's free. voicescaringforanimals.podbean.com. And then follow and subscribe to my podcast. And then you want to step over to the Podbean podcast app and player, either download it free from Google Play or also Apple Store. And what you want to do, download it and then follow my podcast, Voices Caring for Animals podcast, and you're in, okay? And if you want to listen to this show and speak, and you're on a laptop, you could do that also, or a tablet, or a tablet, your iPhones, your laptop, and what's the other one? The iPads. And what you want to do if you want to speak, you will need your headphones with mic or earbuds with mic if you want to speak. Other than that, you can always, listen to it from here. This is a whole new neighborhood I'm in here. Blog Talk Radio was a walk in the park compared to this one, but it's modern technology, and I love it, everyone. So, keep staying with me. I'm so glad everyone came over, and joined me because I didn't want to give up. I'm not, I'm relentless. And from the shows on Marty Oakley, TS Radio Network, from the show number 1 through 163, I did find them because all her shows and my shows were all mixed together with elder abuse. So you can find those on podchaser.com, okay? and you could, search Voices Carry for Animals and leave the podcast out and it'll all pop up. Marty Oakley passed away sadly April 1st of 2023. She was a super team player and a super friend, and I hate to see her go, and I wish she would see all this, what's happening with Voices Carry for Animals, because it has really expanded, everyone. I mean, it's skyrocketed, so I'm very happy for that and thankful and don't want to give up, okay? So, but you can find them, and on my host website on Podbean, I did a tribute to Marty Oakley, and there's a link to Podchaser where all the first show and through the 163 show is, because March of 2018, Marty helped me to get Animal Advocates Radio together. Okay, so she helped me with that, and that's the Voices Carry for Animals number 164 through current. Okay, so you can listen and share 24/7. And please, everyone, I need your help. I can't do it alone. It takes a lot of us and everything that's going on there. And I wanted to also give a shout out to Tyler at podserve.fm. He helped me out so much when I was going from Blog Talk to Podbean. He had all my shows transferred over also on there. Tyler at podserve.fm, thank you so much. He was so helpful. He got them all transferred. Any questions I had, he was always there, because I'm still a newbie at this. I'm still at the newbie level, so I got like 20-some hours to go before I leave the newbie level, okay? So anyway, I got that Tyler. And then tomorrow, my father, he was an ex-professional wrestler, Chief White Owl, back in the late 50s to early 70s, and he wrestled for 32 years, everyone. And I mean, it was unbelievable. He loved getting up in the ring. He loved his fans and his friends, his family, and he sadly passed away. Tomorrow's date, the 23rd, but it was in 08, May 23rd of 08, he passed away. He was severely neglected in a nursing home that led to his death, and it was so sad and heartbreaking what this family and, he went through. It's just totally unacceptable. So I wanted to, tomorrow I'm going to give him a tribute on my Facebook page to him, because it's been 17 years and it's flown. I miss him. He's my father, my best friend, and my mother's listening in tonight. Pat, a.k.a. Moose. Love you, Mom. Always will. And I know tomorrow's going to be tough, but I do have a page for him on Facebook if you'd like to check it out. It's called Chief White Owl Pro Wrestling Legend. Okay, so like it and check it out. And there's more photos of him and on there, and got a lot of cherished memories. He started out at big time wrestling, the WWF, and then WWE, and he was the king of the tomahawk chop. But what happened to him was totally unacceptable, everybody, and it's neglect and abuse is going from all forms out there, and elder abuse and animal abuse, child abuse. It's totally unacceptable. So we have to be their voices, and we have to fight for them and their rights, because that's what it takes, okay? Because we have to be a voice for the voiceless, the innocent, helpless, and because without us, they have no hope to carry on. But my dad, George Dahmer, a.k.a. Chief White Owl, may you rest in peace. I love and miss you every day until we meet again in eternity, okay? And it's all, they're always in your heart, and you always remember. And I know a lot of you out there, you're missing your loved ones and everything. And it's sad. You never forget them and let the cherished memories, move on. But I want to get this show started here. And we got another great show, everyone. And we got two guests that's on this evening. And Carolyn Griffin, she is the co-founder of, okay, hold on one second. Show your soft side, okay? She's been on here before, and she's awesome. Carol, you want to press on the bottom screen, there's a phone icon, and press that alert me you're going to come on air. And also, I got Dawn Cannella, and she is also a board member on Show Your Soft Side, and also the founder of Peninsula Colony Cats. So everyone, we're talking about the Colony Cats this evening. They are important too. But go ahead and either Dawn or Carolyn, if you press that on the right bottom of the screen, phone icon, and that will alert me you're coming on. And we're getting a lot this evening in the chat room, and I hope you guys all enjoy the show. It makes you take action, makes you spread the word about this show because it's so important. And I'm going to bring Carolyn in. Carolyn, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. All right. We did it. We did it.
I'm an old lady. This technology really scares me.
I'll tell you what, it's getting me too. I mean, I'm still a newbie. You know?
Well, it's great to hear. It's great to be back, and congratulations on your 482nd podcast. It looks like you'll reach 500 this year, so congratulations.
Oh, I know. It's unbelievable. You know, time flies. And, you know, I look at it, I say, wow, where has time gone? 482 shows. And that's not including the shows that I did, you know, co-hosted with Marty Oakley against elder abuse back in 2014 and 2015. There was like 75 shows with her.
Wow.
So, yeah. So when I was getting them transferred, I didn't want to transfer them all over because she has over 2,000 shows. And isn't that something?
Remarkable.
Yes, but Carolyn, welcome back. This is wonderful, everybody.
Thank
the last
you.
time it was on was Voices Carry for Animals number 410. And it was an awesome interview, but you go ahead and get started, and this is great because we got Mama Cat in here this evening, and she is, you know, she takes care of over 100 cats in the colonies, and you guys, they all count, all lives matter out there, including all the animals, and we have to, you know, be their protectors, the defenders. But go right ahead and you can refresh the audience. You know, you got a great organization there, and also this show is coming live from my website, everyone, so you can always listen from there, or it's going to be downloaded on there afterwards, and that's voicescarryforanimals.com. So there's so many ways that you can listen to it. But go ahead, Carolyn.
Well, thank you, Debbie. So for those who aren't familiar with Show Your Soft Side, it started in 2011, and we became a nonprofit in 2013. And we were an anti-cruelty campaign that was created to change the mindset of kids in Baltimore who were abusing animals. And the crimes they were committing were really violent and quite shocking. The genesis of the campaign was a dog named Phoenix, who was soaked in gasoline and set on fire, and 2 teenagers were charged with that crime. And sadly, that wasn't the only case. A cat similarly was set on fire, and kids as young as 10 years old had beaten an 8-week-old puppy to death on a public golf course. So my now partner, Sandy Risette, who was a very talented advertising professional, had reached out to me. I was in the anti-cruelty world at the time, and she wanted to create a campaign to deter these crimes from occurring. And her goal was to show that compassion to animals is a strength. And basically, we photographed 3 professional athletes, Adam Jones of the Orioles, a Raven named Jarrett Johnson, and an MMA fighter, John Rollo. And we photographed them with their animals with a punchy tagline, "Only a punk would hurt a cat or dog." And we just wanted to create some posters for Baltimore City schools. And the images really resonated with people young and old alike. The images crossed the globe literally overnight. And so we've recruited now, over the past 14 years, 270 celebrity softies who are our ambassadors for our message that compassion to animals is a strength. And so the campaign still remains the cornerstone of our nonprofit. We do humane education. We send our posters free of charge to teachers throughout the country. And we had to pivot, obviously, during COVID because we could not travel. We could not go into schools. And I think sometimes we forget how bad things were, but intake at shelters had shut down. Veterinarians were not taking cases except in emergencies. And we had started just a small little program to help community cats. We would see these urgent requests on Facebook. You know, these caretakers, just like the people on your show, spent a tremendous amount of their money and resources feeding their colonies. And then if an animal was sick or injured, we would see these frantic pleas to raise money to take care of some urgent medical needs. So we started out with a very, very modest little fund to help, and it exploded literally during COVID. And we've created what we call our Street Kitty Medical Fund. And we've been able to do it because we've added these great board members like Dawn Cannella, and she's going to talk a lot about sort of the boots on the ground that she does. But we have, we don't know how many community cats we have in Baltimore streets, but by one estimate, there are about 85,000 cats living on Baltimore streets. And Baltimore is a very challenged city. It has the highest poverty rate of any city in Maryland. It's almost 20%. And so we created this fund where caretakers can reach out to us if a cat is injured or sick or abused, and we pay veterinarians directly to provide urgent medical care. And it runs the gamut. You know, we see animals that have suffered abscesses and limb injuries and upper respiratory infections, dehydration, stroke, and really for any animal living on the street, these injuries vary in severity, but each is potentially life-threatening to these cats. And this program has just really exploded. And we're so committed to it. The board members at Show Your Soft Side just see how this program just alleviates a tremendous amount of suffering. And so it really is, we actually ended up expanding our mission to, initially it was stop animal cruelty before it starts. And we are now seeking to help the most vulnerable animals in our community. We have a program called the Phoenix Fund for Dogs, which is a little bit different, but this is our most active program with the greatest demand that keeps growing exponentially. So I think we're on to something, and I think it's an important topic to share because people all over the United States are dealing with a similar problem. And Dawn can talk more about the work that she does, both with this fund and on her own, to try to help these animals that we have discovered. So many of the animals that we treat have been abandoned, and that's what's really shocking. 55% have gone on to be adopted. Another 5% go on to barn homes. So these are animals that we're seeing that are friendly, that are living on the street, that are very susceptible to injury and illness and abuse. And it's just a trend that we have seen in our 14 years and a place of tremendous need that we are trying to fill.
And you're out there working hard too. I mean, Carolyn, you're relentless out there, and you're a positive impact, and all these lives matter. I mean, without us, they have no hope to carry on. We want better lives and futures for them because that's what they deserve. They're awesome.
And I absolutely agree. And we are an equal opportunity nonprofit. Sometimes people say, "Oh, you're just a cat rescue." We're not a cat rescue. We love all animals. We help both dogs and cats. But these are the animals that are falling through the cracks. And unlike dogs that are often perceived as companions and family members, street cats, on the other hand, are often viewed as nuisances and disposable creatures. And so I do think there is a greater need. I know the shelters have a tremendous problem with intake right now, and it's very hard to adopt larger dogs. But out in the street where we work, it's really the street cats that we see that need the help.
Oh yeah, they do, because it's not easy living out there at all. I know I got one of my cats, Victor, he was adopted, but Liberty, she was living on the street. She was only like approximately 6 months old.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, how could somebody be that cruel? I mean, to leave him out there like that. You know, and had her almost 2 years. She is so happy, and they're BFFs. I mean, they're just so adorable. Yeah. And that's not the only one I, took in. Of a neighbor in the back, catty corner one year. They moved, they took the 3 dogs and left their cat Kitty, okay? Mm-hmm. So, and I was like, how could they be so cruel? There was no food, no water around the house whatsoever. And she'd always come over to this house and always get fed and water and everything, kept her warm. And I'm like, what is going on here? And you know what the sad part is? They used to work for Humane Society. So does that make sense? I mean,
no,
like, whoa.
They know better. Yeah.
Oh,
they know better.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, but Kitty lived here for many years until she, what happens when you get past, get up there in age and you pass away. But I know she was happy in this house, and the love and the care she got. Because it was unbelievable how they left and just, no food, no water, nothing. I mean, it's like, you got to be kidding me.
And that's what we're saying is these are not cats that are lost. These are cats that seem to be fending for themselves. And some are truly community cats that are happier when they get returned to their colonies where they have a caretaker, and then we make sure that all these animals are altered. But Dawn has helped literally hundreds of these cats and placed them in loving homes, and it's really remarkable the success stories that she has seen. And it really, when you hear numbers, such as in Baltimore where we have literally tens of thousands of animals living on the streets, the problem seems insurmountable, and it's very easy to say it's just too big for any organization, any person to make a difference. But you really have to look at the individual, and Dawn is a master of telling the stories of these animals, because when you see the success story of an individual animal, it draws people in. They can comprehend that, yes, maybe I can help by helping one. And that's all that most of us can do.
That's right. And you want me to go ahead and bring Dawn on?
That would be great, because
okay. That's great.
She has a lot to share.
Hey, Dawn, can you, you're live and on air. Can you hear me?
I can. Hi.
All right. Welcome back. This is wonderful having you both back on. Yes.
Thank you so much, Debbie. I appreciate the invitation.
Hey, anytime. And this is not the last time. So whatever, when you've downloaded the app and all that, keep all that. So next time, all I got to do is send you an email invitation, because all of you are always welcome back. The more exposure, the better.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not very good with the technology stuff either, but I think I have it down now.
You should see me at first. The show got shut down because I had the web and the app running together. Then I had my iPhone and the iPad going. Bam, shut it down. You can't do that.
No, you can't.
Nope. But welcome back and everything, and it's always an honor to have you both on. I mean, this is just, and all you're doing is so heartfelt and inspiring and uplifting. You know, that's why I always tell Mama Cat, what you're doing, you got a heart of gold, you know,
Yes.
and we need all of you, you know, because it gives to their futures and their lives better, because it's not easy living on the street for any of the animals, you know.
Absolutely not. We need as many people as we can get to help, and I think we're seeing a lot of us that have been doing this for so long are getting so exhausted and burnt out, and we're always looking for new young blood to come in to help us and rescue these kitties off the streets. That would be wonderful if we could. So I appreciate you bringing me back on, and as you know, I'm on the board of Show Your Soft Side, and I adore this organization immensely. I used Show Your Soft Side prior to my own nonprofit when I was rescuing cats on the streets, and actually I had met Caroline years back. I had a cat named Mama, and she was a black and white cat that lived in a parking lot of a food store. She was picked on. Some people would feed her, but then people would try to run her over, and all kinds of bad things would happen to these cats out there. And I met Caroline after Mama passed away from cancer, and then Caroline, you know, hooked me up with Show Your Soft Side, and I just was astounded at this organization. I feel that there are so many cats out on the streets, you know, like we were saying, the dogs don't really run in packs, thankfully, on the streets like the cats do. And they get into trouble so often. They can get themselves stuck in things and get hurt, but then there's also humans that hurt them, and that's a really bad thing, and that's something that really eats us up inside. I've had a lot of cats that have had injuries that I've used the Street Kitty Fund for. We've had cats that were thrown from cars. We've had ones that were also just attacked by wildlife. So, you know, there's a bunch of different scenarios when it comes to the Street Kitty Fund. I myself have tripod kitties. I have cats with one eye, cats with no tails, you know, all these different things that happen. So it's a blessing that we have this fund. I know that we are the only ones around like this, and I wish that more people would follow us, because all across the world, of course, there are problems like this. And then I also recently started my own nonprofit. I've been doing rescue for about 13 years, and so I'm a little bit behind on things, just a tad. But so, you know, I was doing all of that informally, and now I am approved nonprofit on my own, and also still on the board of Show Your Soft Side, which is very important to me. So, you know, my goal is just to keep going forward and having the nonprofit status behind me. Hopefully I can get a little bit more support from the community and so forth, and just help more cats. And that's my goal in life, is to help as many as I can. So last year for Peninsula Colony Cats, who was, you know, that is my group, we adopted out 326 cats last year in 2024. We sent 4 of them to farm homes, and we had 9 of them that died that came through our rescue. So not too bad. But we continue to TNR, and that's something that we do on a daily basis. We have to trap, neuter, and return to slow this population down of these street cats. It's just really terrible right now. And like Caroline said, we are seeing a lot of friendly cats, and some of us contribute that to COVID. You know, it was a bad time. Like she was saying, a lot of the shelters and the TNR programs were shut down, and that put us on the back burner. So there were a lot of cats out there that got pregnant, that had babies, all during this time that we could not help them. So right now we're seeing a lot of these cats on the street, and they show up and they end up being friendly. And I feel that a lot of it has to do with people adopting during COVID, and now they don't need the cat anymore, so they dispose the cat. And that's very sad. So just trying to educate people constantly, and having to, you know, being a guest on the podcast here is wonderful, just to get the word out a little bit more. You know, that it's important, and we have to be their voice. It is very true. And cats aren't disposable, and we can't throw them out and leave them behind and abuse them. They're our family, so if you can't make the commitment for your life to take care of this animal, then you shouldn't adopt, that's for sure. And it's just, it's tough for them. So we just try to do whatever we can. The demand is extremely high right now for rescuers in our area. I'm one of a few, like a handful, I guess, in my area here in Maryland. And we need more people, for sure, to get on board with us. And we need trappers, fosters, adopters. Fosters are wonderful. They're golden, especially this time of year, which is kitten season. So right now I have, I did get a cat in last week that gave birth the other day, which is something that we don't want to happen, but when they're that far along, they do. So I think right now I have about 15 to 16, I think 16 kittens right now in my rescue that are needing homes. And then I also have, cats that are recovering from medical injuries. We have cats, we have a cat right now that was attacked by something outside, and the whole side of his neck was just ripped open, and it's just gory and nasty. And thankfully we have these wonderful partner vets with the Street Kitty Fund, and they were able to fix this guy up, and I've been recovering him. And, a week into recovery, he starts meowing at me and purring, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? This guy's friendly. He cannot go back outside. So he's an older cat, and his name is Sir Fred, and Sir Fred just found himself a home. So he's going to go home this weekend, which is great news, great news. So we have a bunch of different scenarios, I guess, like that, Sir Fred. And Sir Fred, he is a cute guy. He's a very cute guy. And then we have other cases. We have enucleations alive. We're seeing a lot of cats that have terrible, terrible eye infections. That is from just living outside in poor conditions, for one, and then not having the treatment. Some of them, they develop herpes of the eye, and with no treatment, a lot of times they lose the eye while they're out there. If we get them early enough, we can get them treated and sometimes save the eyes and sometimes not. Cats, by the way, they don't care if they have one eye, one leg, two legs, they get around just fine. They're pretty resilient, pretty amazing creatures. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at, what I've been doing this year. I love everything that Show Yourself Side does, and I just wanted to keep going doing what I'm doing, so that's why I kind of branched off just a tad on my own. But it's a wonderful community to work with, all of these people here.
That's what it takes, is teamwork from every angle. And then when you have great team players, hey, you got it going on, it's awesome. Yes.
So Dawn mentioned our partner vets. We work with about 20 different veterinary practices. I think all but one give us a rescue discount, which obviously it enables us to do more. But this Street Kitty Medical Fund, it's really a community program, in that if a cat has severe injuries that really overwhelm our budget, these caretakers many of them are very good about going on social media and doing fundraising. And this is our largest line item. We fundraise constantly. We think about raising money 24/7, but we have this community of people. Sometimes they donate $5, but every little bit helps. If some people cannot adopt or cannot foster, and they lend their support. And it really is. It wasn't that long ago that everyone in the animal protection world stayed in their lane. No one shared what they were doing. Everyone was afraid that they'd, be losing their donors. And it's a theme that you discuss a lot on this program, Debbie. And it's so true that the more we collaborate, the more we can help animals, because, Dawn has a skill set that I don't have. She knows how to trap. She knows how to rehabilitate. And there are other people who have other skills. But it's so time consuming to do this work. And so, we rely on people to volunteer, people to donate, and our vets to help with our medical expenses. And we have seen just exponential growth. I mean, we started in 2019 with 30 cases, and last year we covered on, I think it was 569 veterinary visits for 470 cats. So, I mean, we're seeing a 20% increase year over year for demand with this one. As more people know about it, more people reach out to us. So it is a community effort to try to help this massive population of animals that are really vulnerable.
I agree with Caroline. Teamwork is the biggest thing for me, and having a plan. And we just, like I said before, we just need so many more people. I feel like since I met everyone at Show Yourself Side years back when I needed help for Mama, it has changed and exploded so much, like she said. And I think that's a great thing because the word is getting out. It's also... it also means, obviously, that we need to raise more money, which, like she said, every day it's terrible because we kind of feel like we are begging constantly for money. We are obviously all nonprofit, and it's just tough because, medical cases are expensive, vets are expensive, but we have no choice. We have to help them. I sit back sometimes and I think of when I first started doing this 13 years ago. I never knew about Show Yourself Side or any of these programs. I was devastated. I cannot tell you how many times I cried myself to sleep. And I'll cry now talking about it. But just thinking of all the cats out there suffering. So, very sad.
Right. There's once you're in, it's really hard to turn away.
Yes.
And it really is, I think as heartbreaking as it is, it's these success stories that just keep us going. I mean, just the story that Dawn told about, she has several hundred other success stories, and we do the best we can and don't always succeed, but it's the most, I think, for all 8 of us at Show Yourself Side, I think this is the most gratifying part of what we do is alleviating the suffering of these animals.
Yes, I agree. Because I go out there and I feed them in the colonies, and I do my head counts, and if someone's missing, I'm set up looking for them. There's so often we see, show up one day, the cat is fine, the next day the cat is walking on 3 legs. So it's like, what happened? You find out from the community members in that neighborhood, somebody saw the cat get hit by a car. Does anybody try to help the cat? No. They just wanted to videotape it or tell us, this cat is walking on 3 legs. So then we have to go out, we trap the cat. Obviously, most of them aren't friendly right then and there, and they're scared. They're hurt, they're painful. So it is a lot of work. It does take a lot of work, but I personally would never trade it for anything in the world. I think I'm definitely addicted.
And we have other programs that work in conjunction with this Street Kitty Medical Fund. We did start, we're very blessed in Baltimore that our open admission shelter handles about 2,500 TNR cases a year, which is a lot. And then we have pop-up clinics. We try to do them once a month. Again, it's really dependent on when vets can volunteer their time, but we pay the expenses. We alter several hundred cats a year. We also have a pet aid program where we get donations of food. I think we distributed close to 100,000 pounds of pet food last year, most of it is cat food that we get from Waruva, and we distribute it to the community cat caretakers. Just like the listener that you referenced, when you feed 30, 40, 50 cats a day, it is a tremendous financial burden. And so those other programs, I think, take the edge off of the caretakers because there's so much to do for these animals, and it's very expensive for individuals to do on their own.
Yes,
I agree, because of the cost of the inflation out there too. The shelters are getting overcrowded, and they're putting them to sleep, dogs and cats, and it's sad. They don't stand a chance without us. With the vet bills going up and all the food, the cat food, dog food, the surgeries, something's got to give because these animals deserve a chance. And a big shout out to all these cross posters out there and networkers that's helping these animals get to safety and rescued or, adopted, foster, whatever it takes. You guys visit your local animal shelter too, because they are in need right now. They're overcrowded, and a million get put down a year. They're healthy, and they put down all ages, and it's so sad. That's why I couldn't see when Kitty came in. She was out on the street before that, and one time she got caught and took to animal control. They would have kept her, and then if nobody adopted her in all good time, they would have put her down. So none of them deserve that. And the one that's living on the streets, hey, whatever you can do. When I took in Liberty, she's happy now. She's probably approximately over 2 years now. And her and Victory, which was adopted like a couple months before that, he's happy too, and they're BFFs. It's like they're inseparable. I love it. They are awesome.
Which is wonderful.
Yes.
And to your point, Debbie, I was reading the annual report of our open admission shelter, a shelter named Barks, and when I saw the numbers of their intake in 2024, they took in close to 12,000 animals when you include exotics, and their intake just, I think, over the last 2 years went up over 40%. And they do a remarkable job of saving animals. They took over the city shelter in 2005 when the live release rate was 2%, and it's now one of the top shelters in the country. But I think by us working on the edges, as my partner Sandy likes to say, I think we take the pressure off of the shelter. These are animals that, are not being surrendered to shelters. Oftentimes, Dawn and other rescue organizations help adopt these animals if they're friendly. If they're not friendly, they go back to their colonies. But we are alleviating the enormous pressure that our shelters are facing with intake.
Yes, you are.
So again, you just kind of you collaborate, by finding what the need is and trying to fill it.
Yeah, because if it wasn't for all of you, they'd be more crowded, more put down, and it's sad. It shouldn't, they deserve a chance. They don't get enough chances anyway. Just 3 or 4 or 5 days out there, and to get adopted before they're put on death row, and it's crazy. So you're helping out like major what you're doing, from all these homeless pets, out there, animals.
And I don't know if it's the changes in weather, but it almost seems like, Dawn said, yes, we are in the thick of kitten season, but kitten season used to be a season. Now it seems to be 10 months. Dawn, is it 10 months out of the year? It's almost...
It's insane.
It's insane that these cats are reproducing well into the fall when the temperature is getting colder. Yeah, so it's... Spay and neuter is key.
Yeah, and it's crazy. We have, like Caroline was saying, we do have pop-up clinics here and there, and they are wonderful, and they help save us so much. And we had a clinic in, I believe it was this past March, just a couple months back, and we had a lot of cats, a lot of females at that clinic that were pregnant, and in rescue, of course, you practice spay abort, but our vet pointed out, she said, do you remember a couple weeks ago in February when it was like 5 days that were really nice weather? And we're like, yeah, we do remember. And so those kitties are out there enjoying that nice weather, and bam, there you are, you're pregnant and you're having more babies. And so kitten season was a tad bit earlier, I think, to show up because of those couple days of nice weather in February, which is just crazy, but that's how it works. So, and after these moms are pregnant for, say, 62 days, they deliver, 2 to 5 to 6 babies, and then after they're finished nursing, they go back into heat again, and the male cats are out there finding them, and bam, it's a vicious circle. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yep.
But TNR obviously is the only humane solution.
Yes, I agree.
And so we were lucky, Debbie, in Baltimore, a TNR law was passed in 2005, I believe, and Best Friends Animal Society gave Baltimore a TNR grant in 2010, 2011. And so Baltimore has been aggressively altering cats for about 15 years. And I can only imagine what it would be like in cities that don't have those resources. I see the statistics around our state, and parts of Maryland are very rural on the Eastern Shore, and there really are the resources for helping community cats are so limited. And so it doesn't matter where you live. If you live in a rural area, cats are reproducing on farms like crazy, and these caretakers have to often travel 100 miles to go to a TNR clinic. And so it's something, we have so much respect for the people who are doing this work. I mean, Dawn and others really don't get a day off. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas or your birthday. There are animals that need to be fed. And so that's why it is so critical that we continue to bring new people into the fold, that we get younger people to help with this work. It's really very hard, I think, to trap cats and stay up late and pick up these cages and go to veterinary offices. We're constantly looking for new people and trying to Dawn, I think, helps train a lot of people to come and do this work, but that is a challenge. I think we need countless more people helping us.
Yeah, and it is exhausting, you're right, and it is all those things, but not to scare anybody away, but it's also very rewarding. So,
yes. It's a thrill. It's a thrill.
It makes your heart feel good. So
yeah.
I would think that maybe that some of these younger people might say, hey, I want to do something good for the community, and I personally love to teach people in my area, if anybody's ever interested, they can come to me and I show them how to trap and to transport and to recover animals. I particularly like, we all like certain things. I like ferals. I like the bad cases, the yucky cases that a lot of people don't. So I like those. And then there's other people that love bottle babies, which is something that that's not my swim lane, so I prefer not. But she's right. Everybody coming together is super important. And I think the more and more we talk about it, maybe somebody will get tired of hearing us talk about it and they'll actually sign up to help. That would be great.
But, I think, Dawn, one of the reasons it's valuable that you and I are doing this work in conjunction with our softies. I mean, we have a softie, I don't know if you've heard of him, Debbie, Sterling Davis. He goes by the name Trap King, and he's nationally known. We photographed him probably 8 or 9 years ago, and you see, interestingly enough, it just seems like there's so many women doing this work. And Sterling is this macho guy, and he traps and teaches kids how to trap and goes around the country, showing communities how to do it. And so I think our softies are not only ambassadors regarding compassion to animals, but some of them live and breathe this stuff. I mean, most of the softies are professional athletes or people in the celebrity world, but Trap King, Sterling Davis Trap King, is doing this work, and I think it's absolutely wonderful to see a man doing this kind of work, because it shouldn't be limited to women, and the rescue world is predominantly women.
That is kind of crazy, though.
It is.
But I mean, we love those guys. We love them so much. we love when those big guys come out and they want to talk to these young kids that are doing the bad things too, because those young kids, they look at these big guys and they get a little bit intimidated by them, I think. But listening to them, you know, like, oh, it's not so bad to hold kittens and stuff like that. You know, it's a good thing.
Yeah, changing the mindset by example. It's not heavy-handed. It's by example, which I think is the way to go.
Oh yeah, and ladies, would you give out the audience your whether Carolyn, you could give your website out and your Facebook page and X, and I want to thank you for posting this promo on your page on Facebook and also X, and thank you to all the supporters out there for Show Your Soft Side out there, because it takes teamwork all the way, and I believe in teamwork all the way. That's where we get the positive results. You know, we have to stand together, because without us, these animals don't have a chance. They don't stand a chance. You know, we want to see a better lives and futures, and it takes work to get it. You know, it's not going to happen overnight, but you know, get out there and check out their website and everything. But go ahead, Carol. I'm going to start with you first.
And you know, we all have a love-hate relationship with social media, but social media has done more to help animals than I think any other cause.
Right.
Just, you know, as you mentioned, the cross-posting and you know, just highlighting the needs. These posts get shared widely. I mean, our website is showyoursoft.org, and on most social media, you can just look at Show Your Soft Side. I think on Twitter, we're SoftSide1, but we're very active on social media just about events, and we post a lot about the Street Kitty Medical Fund. It gets a lot of attention because I think people really rally, and Dawn helps with our social media page and focuses exclusively on cat issues on Sat. We call it Catter Day. So if people follow us on social media, we have, you know, serious posts. We have posts about our events, but a lot is lighthearted and uplifting because you really do need both.
You do. You have to do that, you know, because to break the monotony, you got to show the good stories, because all these stories we're trying to bring the negative into the positive, but we got to show the positives so people say, hey, look at these victories coming through, you know, look at it, right, and look at the goals have been reached. And how did that happen? Strong leaders and strong supporters equals strong victories, and I know I love to see them coming in. You know, even though if I'm a part of it, I said, hey, I'm not spinning my wheels by having this podcast, you know, because I do other things outside of this podcast to help out and help any guest out there, and all the amazing guests on this show. 482 this evening, and some come on many times. Hey, made it a total success, and the callers and everyone out there that's helping me promote this show, you know, gain up. I might be in the newbie level right now on Podbean, but I got 20-something more weeks or my hours or whatever to reach another level. But all of you can help me reach that, you know. Hey, keep sharing the show, because it goes on how many listeners and how many hours you've been on Podbean, because Podbean, I really love it. I mean, it rocks, everyone. And this chat room and app is something else, you know. So, yeah, one door closed and a new one opened that was even better yet. So I'm thinking positive, and I even gave them great feedback, you know, through Apple and everything. So, and then to show my appreciation, you know, because I started out and I said, oh, when am I going to go from here being on Blog Talk Radio 10.5 years, you know? And that's a long time, you know, so I must have got too comfortable with the calling number, because I wish I would have found this one a long time ago.
Well, you're in good company with so many other podcasts, so
Yes.
That part is nice. That part is nice.
Carol, as soon as the show is downloaded and I edit it and then publish it, it's going to 24 other podcast platforms, and that's something.
That's remarkable.
I mean, it is amazing. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, podparadise.com, 2 YouTube channels, and everybody go by there and check them out. I got Voices Carry for Animals podcast on the channel, and also Animal Advocates Radio podcast, which recently that John Bowden, he transferred over to me because they closed down All About Animals Radio, which all his video interviews are on there too. So at least he got to keep them, and he thought of me. I said, I'm glad you did, because then you would have deleted the whole channel and all your interviews. But this, I look at podbay.fm, Rephonic, Boomplay, Castro, Castbox, Pocket Cast, Podchaser, Player.fm, Listen Notes. Listen to all this, where it's going to go to. Podcast Addict. That's probably with me, Podcast Addict. Audible. This list is huge. And
I haven't even heard of that. But yeah, in the middle of the night when people can't sleep, that's what they do.
Yeah.
So podcasts.
And what's good about it is all these shows, from the Animal Advocates Radio is also, they're all lined up so they can listen to any of them, over 300 from Animal Advocates Radio. And I was searching on Voices Carry for Animals podcast on the internet, and on Player.fm, it had it under the best animal welfare podcast. I was in there. Not the best, but I was in there. Isn't that great?
That is very great. Yes.
I was saying, wow. And also on goodpods.com, I was on there also for Animal Advocates Radio, one of the best of the year. Animal rights podcast. I was like, wow, this is awesome. This is only 3 months old. That never happened on Blog Talk.
Moved on up.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be sharing it for sure on my Peninsula Colony Cats page as well. So.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, I'd love to get more people involved in listening to you as well.
Yes, it is expanding, and I'm like, look, the voices do carry for the animals when there's enough of us, and it is carried on. This is just so wonderful. I'm so thankful for this.
Keep it going.
I'm going to, Don, and I'm not going to give up,
Good.
So I got to stay in that status, one of the best, okay? I can't say one of the worst.
Well, thank you for your determination and grit, because there are not a lot of podcasts that can make it to 500, and you'll get there by year end, which is terrific. I got to tell Podbean, I'm going to make a request to them, because I'm under news, category, right? They don't have under animals. They have family, politics, and this and that. So I'm going to request, hey, can you put another category in there for animal welfare or, animals or something? And that way it'll separate it, from other, because there's a lot of news out there, so. Sure. So I'm going to mention that to them, and then send them a link to Player.fm and, pod service. Say, hey, the categories, if you can add one, because the animals do count. Can't leave them out. But they have technology on there. So the only one that really fit was news on Podbean. So yeah, that's too general. Yeah. That's not helpful.
Yeah, it's not, and there's too much in there for news. So I'll never see top 20, top 2025 podcast on that one.
Right.
Animals definitely need, animal welfare definitely needs to be in there. That's for sure. There's so much of it.
Oh yeah, and even on I think it was Player.fm, on the top 20 of the 2025 for animal rescue podcasts. Isn't that amazing? And I was like, this is wonderful. So I'm going to mention that in all these podcasts that's going out, where it's going to. They can't listen to it, yet until I have it published, but they'll all be listed on there. Listen and share all, and I think that was wonderful how they can do that. You go, if you're a member of any of these, everyone, follow me on there and leave comments on this chat room. You can leave comments and also, help build me up, so.
Definitely will do that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. And also on the this is modern technology. Where everybody's putting on the chat room, it's recorded and put on the website under the show. Isn't that something?
Oh.
So. Wow. Yeah, so I got the, on the website, you can hear live from there also.
Okay.
So this is great. This is great. It's so inspiring and uplifting,
Yes.
Yes, and you guys are part of it. You're part of the Voices Care for Animals podcast family, and always welcome back. But you ready for any calls? Oh, Don, I'm going to give you your website and also Facebook page. Go right ahead.
Oh, okay. So you can find me at PeninsulaColonyCats.org. And then on Facebook, I have a Facebook page, and it's just simply Peninsula Colony Cats. I, however, am not on any other social media platform at this time.
Okay, no problem. And did you want? I've been running my shows past. I used to do them on Blog Talk for an hour. I should have put them for up to 2 hours because that's what I had, but it's too late for that. But if you want to run over the time, and we'll take some calls from the chat room. Do you mind for that? Because I always ask the guests first.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, anybody wants to speak to either Dawn or Caroline, you press the phone icon in the lower right-hand corner of your phone or your iPad, your laptop, and just make sure, you have the headphones with mic or the earbuds with mic. But if you're talking from your phone, you won't need those unless you want to see the chat room. But go ahead. But does anybody want to talk on air?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there's the mama cat. Meow.
I snuck in the back door.
Back door.
A typical cat.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm getting ready to knock stuff off the counter now.
Yeah, she's been a guest on many times, Community Cats United, but she's helped me out with, if there's an emergency with a guest. I can't thank you enough, Mama Cat. You've been there, and, that's teamwork again, and it's wonderful. You're part of the, the Voices Care for Animals family. Isn't that wonderful? I love it.
Well, we got to stick together,
Yes.
Yes.
As soon as we get divided, that's when we fall.
Right.
And I got so tired of all the bickering and the stabbing in the back and the fighting and stuff on so many of the groups. I kind of disappeared off Facebook there for a while.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I mean, we have to deal with enough heartbreak doing what we do. I don't want to deal with it online as well,
Agree. Yep. Totally agree with you.
But, we keep on keeping on, and that's all we can do. And I want to thank you ladies for everything that you do. I know it's not easy. It's hard, and getting through COVID and all that crap was hell on everybody, mostly the cats, of course. And I was fortunate my vet stayed open, and if I needed any TNR and done, he helps me out. He hooks me up.
Wonderful.
No charge, and all I pay for is the medicines, like the anesthesia and stuff like that.
That's amazing.
And he donates the rest of it, so that helps me a lot.
So where are you located, Mama Cat?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty here. We've been having some really nice weather, so we ought to have cats all over the damn place now. But I gotta say, there's a bunch of us that just really keep on going. And we're kind of separate, but we know all of each other, but we do our own things, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And we're able to cover more ground that way. We don't populate one vet or one area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We kind of spread it out, and we get a lot done. And I mean, we don't get me wrong. We still have our share of babies being born, but I started this in 2014, and it has been a steady downward of babies every single year, which does my heart great, you know, because I'm not getting younger. And, you know, so there is improvements. We see it, but we don't, we see our colonies all the way through, from start to done.
Right.
And that's daily food and water. Daily, we have people that go to the colonies, and we have chairs at all the colonies, and you just plop your butt in the chair and you read your Facebook or read a book or drink your coffee, whatever, but voices, you know, with the cats so that they get used to people. And we have an amazing rate of adoptions and pulling cats off the street. We don't believe in pulling them before they're ready. That's just how, you know, we do it. That doesn't mean other people can't, you know, do it however they do. It's just that's how we do it. And we've had tremendous luck with it that way. And I started out with 21 cats on my property when I moved here, and 19 of them were female. Two very happy boys I will add.
Oh, God.
And 19 of them, the females all were pregnant, of course. And, I mean, I was overwhelmed. I wasn't a cat person at the time. I was a dog person. And so I wasn't, you know, versed in what the hell to do. So I called the Humane Society. They hooked me up with a lady. She came out. Ironically, I knew her. We used to call her the crazy cat lady. So that's karma on me. So, but she taught me everything she knew, and it's all history books from there on, you know?
Very cool.
So do you have a formal rescue, or is this just done informally?
Mine, I don't have a rescue per se. We work with several other rescues that do like the adoptions and, you know, stuff like that. So, I mean, I have, when I started my colony, it was Institute Street Feral Cat Colony. I was just looking for help. You know, what do I do with all these? Oh my God, there's more kittens today. Oh my God, there's 5 more today, you know? Yeah. And that's just how it got started. And I work through Happy Cats Rescue. That's in Manitou Spring. And they do all the adoption. I would say 90% of it.
And have you found that the number of cats has slightly decreased with all the efforts?
I have.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
You know, and before it was like every year we were getting more dumps and more people moving out. We had a lot of colonies around high in and out kind of tenants, big apartment buildings. And we always were getting cats over there, you know. But even that, through education and posting in the apartment buildings, that there's other ways to take care of your cats, and dumping them isn't always, you know, the best answer. And go. Leaving phone numbers, and I mean, if that in itself has helped a lot, because then they know there's somebody they can call that can come and get those cats. You know, we also have like hospice for kitties here, the older cats that are getting sicker, and their time is coming and people can't do it anymore, or whatever the circumstance. And you can bring your cats there. I mean, there's a lot of options, but people don't know the options if they don't know the options.
Yeah, I think I'm moving to Colorado.
Come on down.
You guys know what you're doing. I love it. You're organized.
Oh, yeah.
Organized chaos, I call it.
You got it. I can relate.
Major chaos.
I love it.
And you guys would love her because her profile picture on Facebook is with whiskers and everything. So that's how I got to call her. Isn't it adorable?
Adorable.
I said everything fits now.
That's right. That's a true cat lady.
That's it.
Live, dream, and walk it.
Yeah, that's right.
it. They see you. Yeah, they see her coming. They give her a standing ovation when she brings that food and water.
There she is.
Here she is. There's Mama Cat.
Here she comes. Here comes the food can opener.
My grandkids always give me crap because no matter where we go, we can be just like on the way to the gas station, on the way to the store. Grandma, why are you taking this way? Oh, it's a shortcut. And they say, the alley is not a shortcut.
You always have to go down the alley, though.
Yeah,
That's it. Yep.
that's how you get there.
That's right. I love that.
And you got to tell them how many dogs you got.
Oh, boy.
Mama Cat, how many dogs you got? It's like, what, four or five in the house?
My dog numbers have gone down. We lost 2, one last year and one this year.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was sad. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It was in a TLC home, though, you know, and they couldn't have it any better. And it's always sad because they're furry loved ones.
Yep. And both of them, it was so unexpected, especially Muggle, because he was only 8 years old, showed 0 health issues, 0. He had just been to the vet like 6 months before that. Healthy, no issues whatsoever. And then my husband woke up and the dog's usually on his feet, and it concerned him. He didn't find him, and he went outside, and he was right outside the door, had passed. And oh my God, that just broke his heart because, you know,
they're your family.
Yeah, and that dog was everything to him. I mean, it laid on him. They had a language that I didn't understand, but they look at each other and they know what each other is thinking, you know?
They got their own world. They communicate. They love doing that, you know. They just speak in another language, just like humans.
Yeah, they had their secret language for sure. But I'll kind of step to the side and see if anybody else wants to get in here and talk. I just wanted to thank you ladies for everything, and I still follow you on Facebook.
Oh,
thank you for all that you're doing. It's really, really wonderful.
My pleasure.
It's heartfelt, isn't it? I mean, all of you, what you're doing, and keep it up. You know, bringing the negative into the positive. It can be done.
That's true.
Right? I mean, we can't say it can't. So, you know, all these animals deserve better lives and futures. And what you're doing, you're there. And they can't thank us, but we can tell by when their lives start cheering for the better, you know. And for me, I've seen it through social media where, wow, look at this, you know, before a picture and after, you know, in their TLC home, and they makes them so happy to be that. You wish they all were in TLC homes, you know, because that's what they deserve.
And we lose sight, you know, on long days about how much has been accomplished in 20 years. I mean, TNR is a relatively new concept, and before people started altering cats and feeding them, they perished and had terrible lives. They were either euthanized or died on the street. So a lot of lives have been saved just in the last 20, 25 years, which is
absolutely
amazing.
Yeah.
That
and
is
imagine
amazing.
how many would be out there if we weren't doing this work.
Exactly.
Whoa.
I couldn't even imagine, you know.
That would be astronomical. I mean, unbelievable.
Just the 19 pregnant cats I had almost 100 babies.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And that was my first year into TNR. I've learned other,
Wow.
you know, I've learned things.
Trial by fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found homes for every single one of them.
Good for you. Mm.
So,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It is.
Wow. You got to be so proud. I mean, you're out there and you're making a positive impact, not a negative one, a positive one. You know, give them hope to carry on. That's what matters.
That's right.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's making lives better for them. And she's out there, I always call her Snow Woman, up there with the snow. She sends me pictures, and I said, well, I'm in Florida on the patio. So,
I went to Florida. I didn't have a good time there.
yeah, because you got sick. That's why. She came to Florida. We were supposed to meet in person, right? And we got the pneumonia, and then got out and got COVID. And I'm like, oh my goodness! So she had to head back home. And I was like, I wish I would have met you, Mama Cat. That would have been wonderful. I missed that. I mean, because we're in contact, you know, and so we multitask, helping out who we can. And I said, that would have been wonderful to meet you in person. I mean, that.
And we were so close.
I know. We was like an hour away from each other.
Wow.
And that's an hour. And that's nothing.
I ended up in the hospital twice.
Twice. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, no. And then she had me back home. And I was like, oh, maybe some other time, you know. Maybe some other time. We hope. Because that'd be great, you know, just meeting and because we feel like we know each other in person. We're in contact enough.
I've known you forever.
Because you started on the show in 2018. Remember, I looked it up. It could go before that. And but we stayed in contact. And I do that with a lot of my former guests, you know, and the callers. And it's just, I mean, a human reaction to take action, you know. It's awesome. Coming together and growing together and seeing so many good changes happening just from, you know, these super team players out there. And this, you know, doing this platform, I'm going to keep it up because, you know, it's my call. I mean, I love doing it. It's, you know, being a positive light in such a very dark world out there. And we all want it to be better. So we have to work to make it better, you know. So that's the thing. And I'm so glad all these guests, you know, that was on Blog Talk Radio, you know, come over onto Podbean. They didn't ditch me, and that's a huge plus. I get some of these ones I'm trying to train on this new Podbean app and everything, and they're like, no way I can learn that. That looks confusing. And I'm like, just give it a chance. I'll walk you step by step.
Remember when you were learning and you hit one of the buttons and we couldn't get it to shut up?
Yeah, the sound effects. There was a sound effects order. I haven't done it yet since then, but I'm going to try it sometime. And, you know, there's still more to, you know, do. And Jaded Eyes 56, welcome to the chat room. Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments for either Don or Caroline? There's on the right-hand bottom of your screen, there's going to be a phone icon. Just press it. It'll alert me that you want to come on air, okay? And then you're more than welcome. Just try to stay from any noises in the background. TVs, radios, conversations. You're more than welcome to come on board. And everyone, please, you know, help me out because I can't do this alone. I do my best, but I'm going to try to with how many more hours I have to do to get to another level, so I'll hit that level sooner or later. I'm not a pro yet, but I will be with all your help. But I will get that under Podbeam. I'm going to email them probably tomorrow and ask them to put it in another category under animal welfare. Wouldn't that be great? That's what Player FM, does. And I checked them out. And that way it separates them, instead of putting it under news, because that's where some real, there's a lot of news out there. So I don't see hitting less than the 25 on that one, So I will do that. But does anybody have any questions or comments? You're more than welcome to come on air. And I'm so glad to see Shelley in here. Swim for Freedom. She was on last week speaking. I'm going to try bringing her on the guest. We had a great show last week on the Dolphins triology with Dave and Tracy Halyard or something, and they did a great show. I mean, all these guests do great shows. I'm so thankful for all of them. It's just so informative and educational, bring the awareness, the prevention, how you can help out, making our voices carry out there, everyone. That's why I like the name of the show, Voices Carry for Animals, because that's when we all come together and our voices do carry for animals, if there's enough of us, okay? If not, we're only spinning our wheels, right?
Right.
And we don't want to just spin our wheels. We want the most ultimate help out there. And it is not that difficult to do. When you go to, press that share button, share, or retweet, or on LinkedIn. I got Voices Carry for Animals podcast. Just recently started up a little bit of last year. And, visit those, see how you can help out. Take action is the key to get the positive changes made. We look the other way and ignore it, the problems only get worse, right? I mean, they'll stay the same or get worse. And we don't want to see that happening. We want to see some victory, some goals met and everything. So, yep, we got to do it. And we can do it, And Nana just entered the studio. Hello, Nana. Anybody want to speak on air? Lower right-hand corner, it's a phone icon. And just press it and alert me you want to come on air, okay? You have any comments or questions? Okay, here we go. Okay, you're live and on the air. Welcome to Voices Carry for Animals podcast. Do you have any comments or questions? You're right ahead. Can you hear me? You might have to press that again. Okay, I Love Cats is a speaker now. Go ahead, I Love Cats. That's awesome.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, okay. Go right ahead. Thanks for joining us.
All right. I was just calling. I am up in Dawn's neck of the woods. And I love her. I love what she does. I've been inspired by her. I've been a cat lover since I was a little girl. But I just wanted to come on and thank all of you all. It was a pleasure meeting everyone today and listening. And I just want to say thank you for all that you do. Because it's not easy. It's very difficult. It's very hard. What you all are doing is very time consuming. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much for what you do. I appreciate it.
So kind of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and feel free to join us in this chat room anytime, okay?
Yes,
and
I
spread
shall.
the word and speak on air. The more voices out there, everyone, and action takers, the better for the animals, okay? And spread the word, because this chat room is awesome, and you come on air and speak. Let your voice be heard, okay?
Yes, I definitely will. And I haven't got my little nonprofit up and running yet, but I just go around and donate litter pans, food.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes.
Stray cats. But my focus will be mainly on senior cats, because they're the hardest ones to get placed and, get attention and stuff like that. So I'll be helping across the board, and I'm going to be getting more active now that I am retiring.
That's wonderful.
All right.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Seniors are the sweetest.
Yeah.
Dawn.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good luck in your retirement. This is awesome.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Yeah. I love that.
Thank you all so much.
Oh,
Thank you.
And thank you for all you're doing, too. I love cats. Yeah. And feel free to return anytime, join us.
I will be joining, getting on here to listen to what's going on. I will be supporting Dawn up on this end.
All right.
I am retiring from the federal government, so I worked in the animal welfare enforcement branch. I am an investigative and compliance specialist, and I am a voice for the animal.
Oh my gosh.
I go after all the people that, do bad things to animals and stuff like that. That is my job. So it was very, very fulfilling for 21 years.
Woo! Good for you.
Wow.
I just love being a voice for the animals.
That's awesome.
Fantastic work.
We need more people like you. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I just followed you.
Yeah. I'm a follower too. Hey, and then on Facebook, if you're on there and X, hey, look me up. We need to connect. We need some more super team players.
Exactly. I was just at an event that Show Your Soft Side had up here in Baltimore for the Ravens. I was there and met everybody. It was great. It was great.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Hope we meet in
Wow.
person. Hope we meet in person
I do as
very
well.
soon.
Thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you.
Yes, thank you. Oh my goodness. Hey, this show brings so much energy and connections, doesn't it? I mean, it's inspiring. I love this. Yes. Yes.
Wonderful woman. Yes.
Oh yeah. Great teamwork, Super team players. I love that. I love the energy and the being optimistic, and relentless and proactive. That's what it takes, everyone, and working together as a team.
This woman is an expert.
Yes,
She's
she
an
is.
expert.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
That's why I need to connect with her because
Yes.
I'll bring her on as guest because I have animal advocates coming on,
Oh, that would be wonderful.
I know. I mean, from the big organizations, the small to animal, hey, they're all welcome, okay? You're
nice.
speaking out for the animals. I don't pick and choose. I say, hey, we speak out for all the animals on this show in need and distress. I don't care who you are. You want to come out and speak for them, I will connect you up with it,
Nice.
Yep. Isn't that wonderful?
I love it. Love it.
Yep. But ladies, I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. I'm gonna edit, download it, edit it, and it's gonna be published. And then everybody can listen to it, 24/7, and I wanna thank you all on the web that's listening in right now. I mean, this is wonderful. And also on the app and the chat room, all of you guys are just super in here. I love it. All the positivity coming in. So, yeah, thank you, Nana, for calling Guana, West Africa. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes. But everyone, I want this Monday is Memorial Day, so everyone have a safe and fun Memorial Day. Just remember all the ones in Memorial Day. Remember and honor them, okay? And in honor of our heroes, because hey, and may they rest in peace. Because it's sad, they went out and fought for their company and lost their lives. So we have to remember and honor them. Okay, maybe a family member, a relative, a neighbor, friend. Hey, they're fighting for our country, and a lot of them have lost their lives through it. But remember them on Memorial Day. Okay, with your families and your friends and neighbors and everything. Okay, so, but be safe and enjoy too, and because it's a 3-day weekend for a lot, so, do what you can, and you're always welcome back here. Keep spreading the word about this show, and give me your support, your ultimate support, because it's much appreciated. Okay.
Absolutely.
I love it. And Carolyn Griffin, you're the co-founder of Show Your Soft Side. You're always welcome back. And Don, I'll be getting with you again, and both of you, to come back on air. Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate all you guys. You're great. It's a super team.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm gonna edit it. Download, edit it, and it'll be published. So give me a couple hours, and it'll be out there, okay?
Okay,
thank you so much, Debbie. Great being with you again.
Hey, thank you, and everyone have a great and peaceful evening. And next week it'll be at 3:00 in the afternoon for my guest from UK, Spencer Hodges from Rebound Dog. Okay, because if I change the time for them because if it was regular 7:00, it'll be midnight there. So that's kind of hard, to come on. But the following week after that, we'll be back on the 7:00 p.m. Eastern. But next Thursday, 3:00 Eastern, 2:00 Central, 2:00 Mountain, and 1:00. Did I do that right? I had it messed up. 3:00 Eastern, 2:00 Central, 1:00 Mountain, and 12:00 Pacific. Listen in worldwide, everyone. And be a part of our super team we got going here, and keep sharing these shows and everything that's on the website out there or on Facebook pages and groups, because like button doesn't get you anywhere. It just serves no justice, okay? But I got Voices Carried for Animals podcast on Facebook. Go by and follow. Just reached 1,000 followers there. Voices Carried for Animals support group on Facebook. Check it out. There's animals going on death row in there, and plus the petitions and the promos. Check that out on X. I got Voices Carried for Animals podcast. Follow me, please. And I got my personal page, Debbie Dahmer, the DBBIEDAHMER, and I'm also on LinkedIn. I also have my personal page on Facebook if you want to follow or make friends. And I love cats. I want to get connected with you because that's awesome. 21 years? Wow. But I want to thank you all for joining in, tuning in, and hope you meet us, join us next week at 3:00. But thank you. And this is, keep spreading the word out there, everyone. And Memorial Day's coming up, so please be careful. All right? Mama Cat, you ready to go? Paw in hand?
Wait, there I am. Paw in hand, united we stand against all animal cruelty and neglect across the land. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. I mean, this is awesome.
Thanks, guys.
May God bless you all. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night, everybody.
Let your voice be heard. Voices Carried for Animals podcast. Thank you, everyone.